Today's video, Efteling review, amazing fairy tale amusement park in the Netherlands.
All right, we are Lisa and Greg, an American couple living abroad in Spain. If you're curious about the crazy, funny, and surprising differences between the US and Europe, you came to the right place. Now we have to be at 10,000 by now, but as of today, we're probably about 100 away.
Yeah.
So that's so awesome. All of you have been amazing. If you want to join the party, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can be a part of the family. This is the Coaster Studios, and Lisa will include a link in the description so you can go and show them some love, and we'll get them up to 315,000.
Yeah.
I think they would appreciate that. So go on over there and give them some love there. Now, I mean, we've done a couple.
I know. We love these amusement park
so
ones.
Fun.
But this is one in Netherlands.
In the Netherlands. So we want to go and check. Do they say the Netherlands? I just did that.
In the Netherlands. In Netherlands. I don't know.
Probably not. Because we wouldn't say in the Germany.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Or in the France.
That's true. This was a recommendation.
Yes.
From Emma.
Yeah. Emma Rose. And we had a few other people who recommended it, but she did suggest it. So I'm super excited to watch this.
Yeah.
All right, let me just stop talking.
Hopefully it was Fairytale theme park. So that's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that looks like.
I don't either. All right,
okay.
Here we go. Let me get that right. All right.
If I had one word to describe the Efteling, it would be immersive. This is a large fantasy theme park.
That looked fun already.
I know.
Sorry.
Already.
I know. I like that.
If I had one word to describe the Efteling, it would be immersive. This is a large fantasy theme park in the southwestern side of the Netherlands. They got their start in 1952 by opening up Fairytale Forest. This features classic grimm fairy tales like Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, The Frog Prince, Naughty Princess, and so on and so forth. And as it grew in popularity, they started adding rides and attractions, and now it is one of the most popular theme parks in Europe.
Oh my
They're
God.
open all year long, so this means you can visit Efteling pretty much whenever you want, even if there's a bunch of snow on the ground. And it gets crowded. If you ask anyone in the Netherlands, they've probably been here. I know the locals take a lot of pride in this place, and it really is a gem. It is a park for all ages, which is why I definitely recommend visiting. I've had the opportunity to go to Efteling twice. I first went in 2018 and then most recently in 2022. And after my first visit to the park, I actually didn't have the highest opinion of it. I think I missed out on a lot of what makes Efteling famous. So if you've been around with the channel for a while, you probably remember the original review I did of this park, and it just didn't feel very complete. Now that I've gone back, I've had the opportunity to experience a lot more, get a well-rounded view of what this park is about, and so today I'm going to be discussing a lot of the different things that you can experience when you come to Efteling, as well as give some recommendations so that you can have the best experience possible. Because right away, I will say this park is probably not for everyone. If you're looking for the biggest, baddest thrill rides, you're probably not going to find them here. For that, I'd recommend visiting the nearby Toverland, Walibi Holland, or Walibi Belgium. This is going to be...
Oh, I haven't heard of those.
No. And I think
I might have heard Toverland, but go ahead.
Octoberland?
Toverland, I think?
Toverland.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'd be okay with this kind of theme park.
Yeah.
I don't know if our boys would be okay with it. But I'd be cool with just like those kind of roller coasters.
Yeah, they would be okay with it. They would definitely go there. But I mean, I think this is probably more our speed.
For that, I'd recommend visiting the nearby Toverland, Walibi Holland, or Walibi Belgium. This is going to be a much more themed experience, but not in the way that you might expect. You know, I've also been to Europa Park a couple times. Each land of that park is themed to a different country. It's got a very distinct architectural style. You can tell when you're being transported from one area to the next. In Efteling, everything is very cohesive. It's all located in these natural woodlands, trees everywhere. For so much of this park, you can't actually see any of the attractions until you get there. So everything is really a discovery experience. Think of it like a nature park meets a theme park. But once you actually do get to some of those attractions, the attention to detail is incredible. It really transports you to this world of fantasy. So many of these attractions are just full of quirks, especially as someone who's from the United States. I had no idea what was going on in so many of these different rides, but it didn't matter. As you're going through so many of these attractions, they're not even using words. They're telling a story through music and movement, set pieces, and design. It's really something special. Before we get into the park, I do have to, of course, mention that Efteling does have many different places that you can stay on site.
Oh,
What
that was
the heck?
cool. Like little cabins.
The park, I do have to, of course, mention that Efteling does.
That's cool.
Oh, that is super cool.
Oh my God, I would love to stay one of those.
Yeah. That's like a vacation all in itself right there.
Yeah.
have many different places that you can stay on site at. As of right now, there's 3 different resorts with the 4th one on the way with the Efteling Grand Hotel that'll open in 2024, literally.
Oh, so it's already open.
It's open.
Yeah, Efteling Grand Hotel.
Resorts with the 4th one on the way with the Efteling Grand Hotel that'll open in 2024, literally right outside that front entrance. The first time I visited, I actually stayed in a cabin on site and we walked to the park. Really convenient, especially if you traveled a far distance to come here and you're doing multiple.
We are doing that.
I know.
That would be awesome.
I don't know when we're gonna do all this.
I know.
We gotta figure out when we're gonna do all this. Oh.
We're about to be living on the road.
I know.
We just all got all these things we need to do.
Oh, this is making it so hard.
Oh my God, but I definitely want to do that.
We walked to the park. Really convenient, especially if you traveled a far distance to come here and you're doing multiple days at this park, which Efteling is huge. I think it's very realistic to have 2 days at this property. Clearly, I didn't get a full experience my first time around, and I just had 1 day. So when you combine my 2 visits I had, that's 2 days at Efteling. I now think I have a pretty good feel of it. Now, this entry experience is just fantastic. The front gate of Efteling is absolutely massive. It's called the House of the Five Senses. That's why it has 5 different peaks. It's very gothic and imposing. It's just iconic, you know? I've really never seen anything quite like it. After you walk in, you're greeted with a lake. At the end of the day, they do a nighttime show here called Aquanora. It's created by the same people that did like the Bellagio fountains in Las Vegas. I was really glad that I got to see this, but unfortunately, the park hours prevented us from seeing the show at night. They were closing things down at sunset before it was really dark. So I feel like we didn't get to see the show at its full potential. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely still enjoyed it, but it really made me wish that they were open like an extra hour even, I think would have really helped. But that being said, I will commend them. They do have longer park hours than most theme parks we've seen in Europe. They're closing at like 5 o'clock. So I did appreciate that. Now from here, there's a couple different places that you can visit first. As I mentioned earlier, Efteling is huge, so no matter what, you're gonna have to get your steps in. As you look across the water, you'll see this amazing Arabian theming. Inside is the dark ride Fata Morgana. Really well-themed boat ride. One of my favorite dark rides in Europe. And this is just one of the several that you can find here at Efteling.
Man, this just looks so fun.
Yeah, those are like cool and chill, and you're just trying to see everything as much as you can.
Everything I've seen so far, it just looks like I really want to do that.
Yeah.
One of my favorite dark rides in Europe, and this is just one of the several that you can find here at Efteling. They're also home to a Vekoma madhouse called Via Volta. Carnival Festival is a cute family dark ride in the style of A Small World at Disney, but without the annoying song, so I like it a lot better. Each section was themed to a different country around the world, which was really cool. Symbolica was my personal favorite dark ride at Efteling. It uses a trackless ride system and takes you a tour of this castle. Stunning facade, even more beautiful interior. The individual rooms of this attraction are just unbelievable. And they use some really good effects. Walking through the stairs of the pre-show, this room with the whale breaking the glass and actual water spews out is really good. And at one point, the ride vehicles split off, so depending on which sequence you have, you could go to one of 3 different rooms in the castle. Definitely a must-do in the park. Dreamflight is another amazing dark ride here, and they even have another dark ride on the way. Opening in 2024 is Danse Macabre. It's the first of its kind attraction, replacing a classic dark ride called Spookslot. So I'm excited to see how that one turns out. I know it can rain a lot in the Netherlands, so I think it's really great that they have so many different indoor attractions.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That it rained a lot.
So what's the best time to go? I wonder. I mean, he said they're open year round, so.
Oh, yeah. But, regardless of the weather. Snow
regardless
even.
of the weather. Yeah.
Turns out, I know it can rain a lot in the Netherlands, so I think it's really great that they have so many different indoor attractions and that they're all so well themed. It's probably the best collection of dark rides in Europe outside of maybe Disneyland Paris. But even then, I think you can make an argument for Efteling having better dark rides. Now, I gotta talk about the thing that made Efteling famous, and that is Fairytale Forest. The main entrance to this area is by Symbolica. You won't really find any rides back there. Think of it like a large walkthrough with lots of different displays. Sometimes this comes in the form of little houses and these static figures. Other times,
our kids won't fit in there anymore.
No, I know. Those days are over.
Those days are over.
Different displays. Sometimes this comes in the form of little houses and these static figures. Other times you'll find that these characters have simple movements. They use a lot of really clever tricks for some of these effects.
Cute.
You'll see these dancing red slippers.
Cute.
There's a parrot that'll record your voice and repeat stuff back to you. And of course a different pitch. Towards the end of the walkthrough, if you insert a coin, this donkey will lift up its tail and poop out a coin. Shoots it pretty far.
Oh my God. That is a hazard.
That is a hazard. I mean, and look how excited they get. We gotta go to see that. I want to see that. Hold on.
Insert a coin. This donkey will lift up its tail and poop out a coin. Shoots it pretty far, actually. Pretty hilarious. I loved that. There's this amazing talking tree animatronic.
That's
One of the more
cute.
iconic displays in Fairytale Forest. Of course, there's Long Neck, another icon of the park.
Yeah.
And this whole area is just tucked off in its own little section. So it's very quiet and peaceful.
wow.
You don't hear any of the other rides in the park going. Really, the only sounds you'll hear is occasionally background music. They're really clever at the way they hide their speakers. It's inside these tiny mushrooms. It's things like that that I think is just amazing. They want to keep you immersed in it from start to finish. So absolutely, that is worth your time. It proves that you don't really need to do any attractions to get enjoyment out of this place. I
wow.
imagine there's a lot of elderly that come here. You might not be doing a bunch of rides. They're just here to take in the environment. And
That's us, babe.
Yeah.
A lot of elderly.
Yeah, we're not there for the rides. We just want to take in the environment. Yeah.
a lot of elderly that come here who might not be doing a bunch of rides. They're just here to take in the environment. And there's still plenty to do here. This park is huge. There's so much to explore.
Oh
Honestly,
my God.
it's easy to get lost here. It's a bit of a confusing park layout,
Oh,
but it
cool.
really is so scenic. Absolutely encapsulates that idea that you're in a fairy tale. At Efteling, they cannot build above the tree line without special permission.
Oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
So you're not really gonna have any higher crazy
Super
rides.
high, crazy ones. Yeah.
Oh
that's what he
wow!
was
So
saying.
this is really just a park that you just go there and just have a great time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like everything is probably just fun.
Right. Nothing's scary. You don't have to wait in line all being all
Yeah.
paranoid and your heart
Right.
racing.
Yeah.
Nothing's like that scary.
Yeah, yeah,
Although it looked like there was that one that went
yeah,
completely
yeah.
vertical. So I don't know.
Yeah, but we know it's not that high unless they found a way to like
Oh, that's
dig
true.
down.
That's true. That's true.
You could have done that.
It's not that high.
Yeah.
That you're in a fairy tale. At Efteling, they cannot build above the tree line without special permission. In fact, they're only allowed to build rides on just
there it
over
is.
10% of the land in the park. The other 90% has to
Oh.
remain untouched. They even have agreements that they won't build attractions in certain areas. Like I know there's this large pond and there's an island there in the center. They have to leave that area alone as a sort of reserve for water
Oh,
birds, which is
cool.
very apparent because you'll see birds everywhere. So many different waterways, which makes sense. I mean, yeah, if I was a duck, I'd go hang out at the Efteling too. And anytime
Heck
they
yeah.
decide to add new attractions here, they have to balance it out by adding more land to the park. That way they can keep those percentages intact. It's a really interesting scenario they have set up here. I had to remind myself at a couple different points that I'm in a theme park because I'd be walking on this pathway and you just don't see anything else. They keep a lot of the big attractions all in one area. So like there you have Baron 1898,
There it is.
Python, Joris and the
looks
Draak,
bad.
De Vliegen Hollander, or the Flying Dutchman. You just pop from one ride to the next. Baron 1898 was my favorite roller coaster in the park. There's already
That
a
looks
full
fun.
separate
Yeah.
review of that attraction on this channel. Please go check it out if you want to hear about that.
Oh God. What
There's
was
already
that?
a full separate review
Oh
of
my
that attraction
God.
on this channel. Please go check it out if you want to hear about that. There's also Python. It's probably the
my
most famous roller
God.
coaster in the Netherlands. It's one of the best Vekoma loopers, in my opinion. They gave it a full retrack. It's extremely smooth. Pulls some pretty good forces, too. Joris and the Draak is a GCI dueling coaster. It's an all right ride. Definitely not a very extreme wooden coaster. The dueling
Those wooden ones
Yeah.
are always kind of like,
Yeah.
everywhere you go.
It's giving me a headache. I
Yeah, they
can't
hurt
do
your
it.
back and
They hurt-
everything.
yeah.
Or, I don't know.
I probably would still ride it though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
effect is nice, although on my most recent visit, they are only running one side, which is a shame. Take advantage of that single rider line. People were waiting a long time for this one, but we were able to hop right on because of that. And actually, since my most recent
Oh.
visit, they've put Titan Track on it. So now there's a second
We could do single rider, but that just means we have to.
Oh, we might not sit with each other?
Yeah.
Is that what that
Mhm.
means? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Aw,
Yeah.
but okay.
Yeah. I just we'll talk at the end.
able to hop right on because of that. And actually, since my most recent visit, they've put Titan Track on it. So now there's a section that'll be even smoother than before. The Flying Dutchman was a new one for me. It was actually closed during my first visit. And this
a lot
was
of people.
really cool. The
Yeah.
queue was stunning. It was designed to look like a pirate fishing town. Very much gave
cool.
me vibes for Pirates of the Caribbean. It was the only roller coaster ever built by Comeback, and just the story and music really add to the
Well, you don't get
atmosphere.
too
I know that
wet.
Efteling also recently added some new scenes to it, so this ride should be even better now than before. Other roller coasters include Max and Mortis. This replaced their former bobsled coaster, and unfortunately, I missed Bob during my first visit, and I missed Max and Mortis during my most recent one. Both attractions were closed when I went, so that's a bit of a shame. It looked cute though. I'd love to do it at some point. Then the last
Oh
big
man,
coaster-
that's so
Yeah, I know.
nice and chill. Okay, I got this. Okay, I can do this roller coaster.
Is Vogelrock? This is a really cool indoor ride. Super long
it's
experience and
indoor.
an even longer train. I forgot how many forces this thing pulls. It's got onboard audio. They make it look like you're in space. I remember even graying out once or twice. Underrated ride for sure. And of course you can't.
Oh, wow.
What did he say he remembers? What?
I don't know. I kind of was thinking he said passed out, but I don't think he said passed out.
Let's hope not.
No.
Let's see what he said.
Something a couple times.
Longer train. I forgot how many forces this thing pulls. It's got onboard audio. They make it look like you're in space. I remember even graying out once or twice.
Graying out. I remember.
Does that mean
even graying out? Like, because of the G's. He's talking about the forces.
Well, he's not doing any favors for this ride.
I know. Seriously, I don't want to gray out.
Is that what he's saying? I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah. Is
like,
that like young person
like how
terminology?
things like get dark?
Yeah, like you kind of
Like you're like,
oh, yeah. With G-forces,
hell
you know how
no.
like G-forces are like, whoa.
Oh man, we need some clarification on that one.
Yeah, I got to make sure you don't eat or nothing. before you
Yeah,
eat, too.
seriously. All right.
Underrated ride for sure. And of course, you can't help but love that entry experience. I mean, look at this giant bird. I mean, that thing is
That's
huge.
cool.
So they got a
That's
solid
cool. It
coaster
moves.
collection. I mean, as you can see, most everything is family oriented. Baron is probably the most extreme right here. So that does kind of make you wonder, all right, what could they use in the future? And if I had to pick something, personally, I would go with a more traditional hyper coaster. I have no idea if they're allowed to go that tall.
Is that
Maybe,
a hyper
but I
coaster?
think even something like Conda, Wallaby Belgium would work well. Baron is awesome, but it's nothing world class. In my opinion, they don't have that wow ride in terms of thrill. They have the
So in other words, this is the park we would like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds good to
yeah,
me.
sounds good to me.
Oh,
We'll like
it's
it.
You're
nothing
talking about.
world class. In my opinion, they don't have that wow ride in terms of thrill. They have the wow factor in terms of theming. And I'm not
That
saying
looks
that
fun.
they need to
Yeah.
turn Efteling into a thrill park, but I think if you had just one more thrilling ride, that would really help. So we'll have to see if they end up doing
Okay.
something like that. I have no doubt that if they went that route, they would do it right. Besides from the roller coasters, you also find some more classic theme park
cool.
attractions.
Oh, yeah.
They're home to a massive swinging
The
ship. I think
classic.
it's the biggest in the world. I've certainly never seen a bigger one than this. There's a rapids here called Piranha.
Oh.
I love
I
that
love
they have an
those.
intimate observation tower. Those things are so rare. Really cool to watch from the ground level and amazing view at the top. You also
Oh,
find a
wow.
handful of shows at Efteling.
Oh,
Ravelin
cool.
is a popular medieval show right by Dreamflight. It involves knights and horses and sword fights, which is really cool because I can't think of any other theme park show that does that. Here in the US, I'm used to seeing like Medieval Times has come to town with their dinner shows. And that's normally something that you'd pay separate for. But here you can just see that show in a theme park. And they even offer an
wow.
upcharge experience where you can do exactly what Medieval Times does and you get served a 3-course meal during the show. Definitely something I'd love to check out the next time I come back here. And I know there's still so much else here that I haven't covered in this review or haven't
wow.
shown in this footage. I've really learned from coming here that this park has a lot of repeatability to it. There's more to do here than might meet the eye. And I think that's really the point. They want to keep people coming back. And clearly they're very dedicated to growing this place. There's a couple new things currently in the works. I'm sure more to come. I think if you're looking for a theme park to visit in Europe, this is definitely one to at least consider. As I mentioned earlier, if you're looking for more thrill-based attractions, you'll probably have better luck
God.
somewhere else. But this is about as European as it gets, you know? You won't find anything like this in the United States. Everything from these large theming elements down to the minute details, like literally look at the
wow.
trash cans. Come on, this is awesome. There's so much
Oh,
heart
what
and soul
the-
put into this place.
That's cute.
Those are the trash cans?
Yeah.
Literally,
Oh,
Trash
that's
can.
that's a trash can right there.
Yeah. I wouldn't have no idea that was a trash can.
I was thinking I'm gonna look like around by that wall or like
Oh
what
my
trash can you
God.
talking about? But this is
Yeah.
a trash can. Oh, in his mouth and also in his little
In
stomach.
his stomach. Yeah.
Oh wow.
look at the trash cans. Come on, this is awesome. There's so much heart and soul put into this place, which is something I really
Aw.
appreciate.
Aw.
It's a park designed for you to take your time at. It can be as relaxing as you want and also as thrilling as you want. And I think that's where that family appeal comes in. There really is something for everyone. So let me know down in the comments below if you've been to
Efteling.
Efteling in the Netherlands. Post any thoughts you have down below. And of course, make sure to stay tuned for more park reviews here at Coaster Studios. And I'll see you next time.
Man, Netherlands.
All right.
I think we have to do a whole like vacation in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Germany's going to be separate. Right? You can't
Yeah.
do both
No. We got to do
Yeah.
Germany.
separate.
Dang, we got to do the Netherlands.
Now I got to do the Netherlands.
Sweden.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
We want to go to
we
France.
go to France.
Man, there's so much to do.
Dang.
Okay. I know.
like that's a bad thing.
I know.
Dang, we gotta go have
awesome.
fun and meet people from the channel.
Oh,
Dang it.
I know.
All right, let's take a look here.
My life sucks.
That was awesome. That was really good. I really, it's so interesting. What parks have we been to in America? Disneyland, Magic Mountain.
Great America in
Great
California.
America is a part of Magic Mountain,
well,
Six Flags.
Yeah, it's the San Diego.
Knott's Berry Farm.
Knott's Berry Farm, Universal Studios, SeaWorld,
Wild Animal Park, which is in San Diego, and then of course zoos.
All the California ones. It seems like we went to.
Yeah.
But yeah, and a lot of them are like wild rides.
Yeah.
Like the scary roller coasters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so it's hard because you're like,
yeah.
Where's the calm stuff?
What was the one in Northern California?
Great America?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay,
Great America. And then we went to one in San Antonio, Six Flags.
Yeah. Another Six Flags.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, let's see what the people got to say here. All right, let's see what we got here. Let me do that. I want my friends to see. All right, Efteling's unique selling point is nostalgia. Your parents and grandparents went there when they were kids. You'll actually find elements from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s when you visit.
Cool.
All right, Carnival Festival is like It's a Small World, but without the annoying song.
Yeah, that's what he said.
The song of Carnival Festival is iconic and famous for being annoying and getting stuck in your head. Out of the 18 million people in the Netherlands, I guarantee you that 99% of them hate that song. And the last one here, Taylor, this makes me happy to hear. Everyone's welcome to their opinions, but Efteling is so charming, and your original review always left me rather sad. So glad you've had a chance to go back and see its charms.
Yay.
All right, that was a good one. And of course, if you like this, we have set up a Patreon for you to go over there, and we have free options, paid options, and there's a Discord there where people over there are just talking all kinds and having a great time.
So he's talking like crazy.
Go ahead over there,
fun.
And it's available on all the levels, including the free option. Mm-hmm. So I think that's it.
That's it.
All right. Well, as always, thank you for stopping by, and we will see you on the next video.
Bye.
Peace.